How we doing, folks? So we're up to clutch was done yesterday, tried it this morning, pull the lever in, press the kickstart, drive disconnected straight away, so I'm hoping the sticking clutch is sorted. But now we're left with, before I can put the casing back on, we're left with the couple of damaged screw threads in the casing. So we're going to helicoil a couple of these and hopefully they'll come good. So I'm going to spin you round and let's have a look. Okay, so the first few threads are missing completely, and the ones behind it are barely holding, and if you put any weight on it, they just jump out. So obviously suffered a trauma over the years, maybe been on and off that many times or whatever, I don't know, but need to be sorted. So what I generally do is these are dependent on the year. This one's a UNC. These are all quarter UNC on this model. They're probably BSF on the models before, or I'm not sure, pre 68 or 69. On the BSAs they're all quarter 20 threads, so the quarter BSF. These are NC, and I think my later BSA B50 1970, that's also quarter UNC. So you need to treat yourself to a quarter UNC tap, and you need to go round, small screwdriver first, dig out all the crap that's in the back of there, all the old silicon, red hematite, generally the thing if it's a UK bike, and then just run a plug tap down there and make sure that all the threads are all good. Any damaged ones, obviously we've got a helicoil. So I did have some helicoils, got quite a few. Hopefully I only need to use one or two on this engine. So here's the helicoils. They just look like a spiral spring, and they're stainless, but they're not 316. I think they're 305, because they are slightly magnetic, so they've probably got a bit of nickel in them. So that's what's going in. So when you buy a kit, you get a handful of these, obviously. You get the appropriate drill bit, and don't try and second guess it, specific for those particular size. And I think 6.7 is the size for this, but it comes with a kit. You should always buy the kit. And also you get the tool for inserting, which is the appropriate diameter rod with a notch in the end that it sits into, and you wind them in. And the last thing in the kit, you get this little bit of a steel bar just go in the middle to break the drive tang off when you've finished. So you're going to be drilling, in this case, aluminium. It's very, very soft material, so and the hole size isn't far off what the drill size is, so it's going to snatch like mad. So just trying to save a bit of stuff going inside. Obviously going to blow it all out afterwards. So I generally will run the drill with the clutch on a medium setting, so it's not going to drag itself all the way through. and I normally drill soft aluminium in speed number 1 because it's just going to want to drill like mad all the way through, and you just have to be super careful. Let the drill do the finding. See how it wants to snap. There. Now I didn't put any weight on that at all. I mean, you could take the edge off the drill a bit so it doesn't snatch as hard, but obviously if you're going to be doing anything else like mild steel, then obviously a blunt drill's no good. But just take your time when you're drilling, let the drill do the work, don't push. In fact, you've got to try and hold it back because it's going to try and want to climb in. So a low speed, and you know, put the clutch on so it doesn't try to dig in. The clutch will relief, then you can put it in reverse, back out, whatever. So back and two, back and two. So you get the appropriate tap. So God only knows what size the tap is. It's obviously exactly specific for whatever the helicoil size is. And even though it's very soft aluminium, it's always worth, you know, putting, this is actually cutting fluid, just a bit of oil to be kind is nice. And because it's in an awkward spot, I can't get a tap wrench in there because I'm going to be hitting the rotor. So, and my little ratchet type tap wrench only goes up to 3/16 square, and these are quarter, so they won't go. But if you've got a quarter drive socket set, you can get the quarter will just bite, or whatever else you can find. So it obviously will find its own centre because it's only going to follow the hole. So just get it started, then it's half a turn forward and a quarter of a turn back to break off the chips as you go, just like using a standard tap. And it's easy because it's very soft material. And I'm going to take it to the death because I can. And it's cutting really well. You can feel it. So just keep breaking those chips off by winding it back. Can't be far off. And I think we're there. Obviously don't put too much weight on a tap. They're made out of high-speed steel. Tungsten, bit of hard stuff, and they do break very easily. And we're there. So out we come. Obviously a lot easier if it wasn't a blind hole, but unfortunately it is. So if you've got the luxury of an airline, get all the swarf out of there. So load your helicoil into the little driver, and you have to apply a little bit of weight to get it started. And once it's started, don't push too hard, you don't want to break the tang off the back. So without pushing now, just wind it in. And it says ideally half a thread below the surface is ideal, and that would be it. So that's in there now, but obviously I've still got the little drive tang on the back, so just your little bit of round bar that goes in there. Could probably do it with the palm of my hand, but I'm just gonna, and you just snap it off and it's gone. So it'd be nice not to leave that in there. So again, if you've a little neodymium magnet on a screwdriver, and because there is a bit of nickel in whatever the material this is, it should pick the little piece up, maybe. If not, a bit of grease. But I'm not going to leave it in there, I'm going to try and find it. There it is. So there's the little tang we've snapped off. So we know there's nothing inside there. It might come out with the airline. And now for the moment of truth. Just going to have to tease it in a little bit, I think. Feels a bit tight there. Another screw. The end on that one wasn't very good. That's more like it. Beauty. There we go. Perfecto. Yeah, so the others are okay. So I would say now we're done. Now I'm waiting for a gasket for this, but I'm just going to put the casing on because my number 3 cutaway concentric carb slide has turned up, and I want to fit it because I want to run the bike. So it's a bit late now. At times it's 6 o'clock. By the time I've had tea, I don't want to be starting the bike up, upsetting any neighbours. So tomorrow morning casing will be on and we can have a go and see if the number 3 slides and the remote pilot jets have made a difference. Fingers crossed. So see you on the next one, which will be the carb tuning if the bike starts.